Hello, dear fans, friends, and subscribers. Welcome to the very exciting cricket happening show. And the reason I say that it's an exciting cricket happening show is because India, chasing 350 runs, which was set by England on a pitch in Pune, where they were playing their first ODI match of the series. India did it in great style, one could say. They had their problems, they tottered at 63 for 4, and then they had a brilliant partnership with the local boy, Virat Kohli, the captain, playing some strokes that were absolutely stunning, to say the least. And the local boy, Deepak Jadhav, combined. They came in together at 63 for 4 and hammered the English bowlers to the tune of a 200-run partnership for the fifth wicket, which basically paved the way for victory. But Kohli's exit definitely provided some relief for England, but Deepak Jadhav was standing there like a rock. And even though they had Deepak Jadhav's wicket due to his cramping that was happening, it was the coolness of Hardik Pandya and Ravichandran Ashwin. Especially Hardik Pandya was there for quite a long time, playing a very sensible innings of an unbeaten 40, and Ashwin was the one who completed the victory for India by smoting a 6. So it was such a brilliant stuff. I mean, probably after seeing England score 350 runs, one would have probably not said that, not given India a chance, because India in the past has chased 350 totals with pretty good consistency. They have won 2, and they are the one country which has won three ODI matches, actually chasing in excess of 350 runs. So that really says that how powerful the Indian team is. But definitely credit to the England too. England too played in some blazing fashion. Especially Jason Roy at the top, and then Ben Stokes was literally murdering the Indian bowlers. And that in last 8 overs, the Indian bowlers leaked 105 runs due to the big assault that came from the bat of Ben Stokes, as England had a 350 score for themselves. And then in final analysis, it was India who actually were the victors. So India taking a lead in the first match of the ODI series here with 1-0. And so that is something which is definitely going to dominate this cricket happening show. There is no doubt about it, because of the sheer chase that happened. The other thing that I'll be looking at is the second ODI in Australia versus Pakistan. Pakistan definitely missed the opportunity in the last one-day international, but in the captaincy of Mohammad Hafiz, they really prospered. And not only that, they not only collected the victory in the second one-day international by 6 wickets, with Captain Hafiz leading the way, but not only that, and this was a very special victory for them. The reason being that I am told that Pakistan has never beaten Australia in an ODI since the last 12 years. So that is quite some time. Probably it happened way back in 2005 when Wasim Akram was there in the Pakistan team. So that is quite some time, and that's the reason they say Pakistan finally ended the drought against Australia in ODIs. So I'll be talking about that. And while I'm talking to you right now, I'm taking you live to the ground. There is a wicket that has fallen between Bangladesh and New Zealand. As you know, New Zealand yesterday put up a good score, conceding 56 runs lead to Bangladesh. And I'm trying to go live to the Basin Reserve in Wellington on the final day. And the big wicket has been taken by New Zealand here. And one does not know what is in store in this match, but I can tell you right now in this live update, Mitchell Santner has gone and got the wicket of Shakib Al Hasan. So that's a big wicket, I would say, as far as Shakib Al Hasan is concerned, who scored a double century, and it was not a good shot at all. In fact, he has given an absolute catching practice there, as this ball was tossed up by Mitchell Santner, and Shakib was trying to have a real whack at that, and in the process it has ended up into a dolly for Williamson, the skipper. And what a shot, and Shakib is into the pavilion without troubling the scorers. He's out for 0. And so the score right now reads 72 for 4. So Bangladesh are leading by 132 runs, but they definitely have to control here because in fact today we have seen that Kane Williamson very rightly has started with the spinners to see what is there in this particular pitch. And one probably feels this match could get exciting now with Shakib Al Hasan gone very quickly. Mominul Haq is not out on 16. Sabir Rahman has come out. He's not out on 6. I'll come back to that later for this live cricket update. And also, if at all time permits, we'll also have a look at the Australian squad that has been selected to tour India in the test matches. And there is a new face in the Australian lineup. His name is Mitchell Swepson, and he's the one who's a right arm leg spinner, and told he really gives the ball a real rip, and that's the precise reason Mitchell Swepson has made it to the Australian team, and he has been strongly recommended, I reckon, by the former great legend and cricket commentator now in Channel 9, Shane Warne. Was recommended. Mitchell Swepson is a right arm leg spinner, so he has been selected for the Tour of India. We'll have a look at that later. And before that, as I said, most of the time today will be spent on this particular match between India and Australia. And while I'm talking to you, I can say there is some movement here in the Bangladesh-New Zealand match. Sabir Rahman has moved his score on to 10. Mominul Haq is 16 with some good boundaries being hit. So, but let's first head to the match between India and England and see what happened. This was the first ODI match of the series. It was played at the in Pune, and also Pune happens to be Kedar Jadhav's home ground as well. And what a mark he has made, Kedar Jadhav, getting his second century in one-day internationals, previous century being against Zimbabwe. But what a partnership that was, and absolutely, he played an absolute blinder, one could say. Now, let's have a look. India were the ones who actually won the toss here at the Maharashtra Cricket Association Stadium in Pune. And the England innings were all on to a rollicking start, one could say. And the reason being it was Jason Roy who was actually timing the ball with great precision. And he was really putting the pressure on the Indian bowlers. And one of the straight drives that he hit of the bowling of Jasprit Bumrah absolutely stood out in the morning session, as Jason Roy was looking pretty good. Alex Hales was the first to go, run out by Bumrah for 9 with 1 boundary. Joe Root then started chiseling his innings, but Jason Roy was proceeding like a train, and he was really carting the Indian bowlers, and it was some real good stroke making going on. And as I said, Jason Roy always makes batting look very easy, and what a knock he played. I mean, when the pace bowlers were bowling, it was Jason Roy was not giving any chances to the Indian bowlers, but when the spin was introduced, he got Jadeja actually lured him into a trap there, as Jason Roy was beaten by the turn, and Mahendra Singh Dhoni behind the stumps actually whipped off the bail. So, but not before Jason Roy had played a sweet little innings of 73 of 61 deliveries with 12 beautifully timed boundaries in that. Joe Root did the job of actually being there at the crease and trying to hold the England innings. His contribution was 78 of 95 deliveries, 4 fours and 1 6. So more of a sedate innings from Joe Root. Morgan clubbed 28 of 26, 2 fours and 1 6. Josh Butler 31 of 36, 1 4 and 2 6s. And then probably one was thinking that England with 8 overs to go, probably England would have had a total of probably 320 odd, but Ben Stokes changed it all in an absolute trice as he hammered the Indian bowlers, especially Bumrah was taken to the cleaners by Ben Stokes, as he was really treating Bumrah with absolute disdain, and he spoiled Bumrah's figures with a real assault as he contributed a quick fire 62 of just 40 deliveries, which contained 5 sixes and 2 fours. Moeen Ali made 28 of 17 balls with 3 fours and 1 6, and because of the assault that happened which happened through Ben Stokes' bat, this England innings went on to, and also Willie stroked a 6 as well, was not out on 10, and England had a sprightly total of 350 on the board for 7 wickets of the 50 overs. And the bowling, Bumrah was taken to the cleaners, 10 overs 2 for 79. Umesh Yadav 7 overs 1 for 63, also unimpressive. But Hardik Pandya was one who could have a sort of control on the England batting, as he bowled 9 overs for 46 runs and 2 wickets, and especially he was keeping the field up and seeing to it that he was bowling to a set field, which was good to see. Jadeja 10 overs 1 for 50. Ashwin also could not find his line. Ashwin was absolutely awry with his lines today. 8 overs none for 60. He probably bowled a negative line, one could say, Ravichandran Ashwin. Jadhav 4 overs none for 23, and Yuvraj Singh 2 overs none for 14. So India were chased with a total of 351 to win, and as you know, it was a Sunday, it was a public holiday, and the crowds had actually flocked the Maharashtra Cricket Association Stadium in Pune and were really waiting for something to happen. And this was a tall total, but the start was not good for India at all. Willie was the one who was the villain, I would say, in the initial stages for India, as he got 2 Indian wickets pretty quickly. First, he knocked off Shikhar Dhawan, who was struggling on his comeback, caught a ball Willie for 1, and then KL Rahul was as a goner, as Willie actually bent the ball in, and KL Rahul wanted to actually flick him, and in the process lost his stumps. He was gone for 8, and India were in real trouble at 24 for 2. Kohli was then joined in by Yuvraj Singh. Yuvraj Singh started off with a real smite, as is his wont. As he started off, the very first ball he faced, he actually dispatched it for a beautiful 6 by showing some neat wrist work. And after that, he also hit a boundary, but that was it for Yuvraj Singh, as Ben Stokes actually had him caught. In fact, he tried to hit a ball, and he probably tried to actually glance it down the leg side. He got a feather of probably got a tickle onto it, and Yuvraj was caught behind the wicket of Stokes for 15 of 12 deliveries, 2 fours and 1 6, which made it 56 for 3. And in walked the predecessor, the old Indian captain MS Dhoni, and the new Indian captain Kohli was the crease. Kohli, as I said, Kohli is such a person who is not perturbed by the situation at all, and that's what he precisely did. The very first ball he received, he actually hit a boundary, and Dhoni came in, and Dhoni also started off in his own style by aggressively punching one for a boundary, but that was it for Dhoni, as Jake Ball actually surprised him with a delivery, and Dhoni probably could not get the full meat of the bat onto that, and the ball flew off the edge, and Willie settled under it nicely, and he was gone for 6. And the Indian score was reading a very, very ragged 63 for 4 of 12 overs, 11.5 overs to be precise, chasing 351 runs for victory. And now Kohli was at the other end, and as the local boy from Pune, Deepak Jadhav joined him. Well, Deepak Jadhav joined him, and Kohli and Jadhav slowly wanted to retrieve the situation, and one thought that after Dhoni went, India would have probably even thought that their chances were very, very bleak here, unless Kohli could have played a very big knock. But in fact, Kedar Jadhav proved to be a very, very able companion, as he not only stood with Kohli, but he was the one who was coming up with his strokes. He was sweeping the ball well. He has some nice strokes in his repertoire. He has a wide range of strokes. He can also play in unorthodox fashion. So he really swept well against the spinners, and he was also driving well. And basically, he was another one who was willing to hit some sixes as well. He was swinging the ball. Swinging the ball with a real whack there, and he was looking very, very good. And Virat Kohli, seeing that Jadeja was growing in confidence, Kohli was also playing some stunning strokes. I mean, Kohli, as you know, one does not need to really say about his strokes. His strokes are something which is something simply splendid. And they were piling on the pressure. Not only that, they had actually piled on a century. They have already done a good job for India by recovering well. And suddenly we saw Virat Kohli reach his century in fine fashion. He could not get a single, but he shimmied down the pitch and hit Wokes over the fence for a six. What a way to bring up his century. His 27th ODI ton. And also, one of the shots that Kohli played, probably I would have never seen such a shot played by a player, and that was the shot of the day. And what a shot that was. Even the commentators were wondering as to what was that shot, because nobody probably in cricket has seen that stroke, because it was Virat Kohli. Wokes was the bowler, especially after scoring his century. So much time in the world Kohli had that this was probably a slower delivery from probably slower in pace, one could say. And Virat Kohli just stood there, gauged the bounce, and the good thing was that he played a shot which was a high elbow stroke over the long on region, and he held his pose as the ball sailed beautifully into the spectators. What a shot that was. That is something that I have not even seen any great batsman. That definitely defines what greatness is as far as Virat Kohli is concerned. And this partnership was growing by leaps and bounds, and the English bowlers were really taken for a leather hunt. And suddenly this Indian innings was getting into a real gallop. Kedar Jadhav getting his century in front of his parents, his father, mother, wife and daughter. What a proud moment for this bloke, Kedar Jadhav. He played an absolute blinder. Things were really running well for India, and before one could realize, the partnership had touched 200 runs. It was a 200 from 63 for 4. Kohli and Jadhav took the score to 263 in the 37th over, and that was the time Ben Stokes had Virat Kohli's wicket. He was caught, but not before Kohli had made 122 of one of about 8 fours and 5 sixes. And there was a bit of a pressure on India when Kohli was gone, but Jadhav was holding his nerves. He had cramps, but he was making sure that India was up to the run rate, and that's what he was precisely doing as he was hitting boundaries over boundaries and interspersed with some sixes as well. Kedar Jadhav was cramped, but nevertheless he contributed 120 of 12 with 12 fours and 4 sixes. What a knock from Kedar Jadhav, absolute blinder, and no wonder he was given the man of the match in preference to Kohli, because look at this innings, 120 of just 76 deliveries, 12 fours and 4 sixes. And when Kedar Jadhav went, India was still in the hunt, but again they needed some calmness. The calmness came in from Hardik Pandya, who held his nerves and calmly guided. I would say Ravindra Jadeja made 13, but I thought Ravichandran Ashwin, with his experience, was a great influence, because what he did best, he was controlling Hardik Pandya. He was probably prompting him, telling him that don't go for the strokes, just keep getting the singles. And it was very sensible batting that guided India through finally in the final bend, and India were through with Hardik Pandya getting to this England total with a beautiful 6, and then Ashwin finishing it off in a real flash as he smote Moeen Ali over the pickets for another 6, and that was it for India. They clinched the victory, 351 for 7 in 49 overs. What a match that was. And the bowling, well, I can say Wokes had none for 44, Willie 2 for 47, 3 for 67 for Jake, ball was costly, 2 for 73 strokes, none for 50 for Rashid, was costly, Moeen Ali none for 48. I don't have much time, I have to get into the other matches now. Kedar Jadhav was named man of the match. The other matches that I'm going to talk about here is going to be the match between Australia and Pakistan. Unfortunately, due to lack of time, I have to really skim through the surface here. Australia versus Pakistan, as I said, it was the second one-day international which was played. Pakistan winning the match by 6 wickets. A fine bowling performance from them, especially the spinners throttled Australians, and the Australians never had any answer. The highest scorer being Steve Smith with 60 of 101 balls with 2 fours. Other than that, there were contributions coming from Travis Head 29, Maxwell 23, 35 from Wade and 19 from Faulkner. The Pakistani bowling, the spinners were the ones who really ruled the roost. Mohammad Hafiz 10 was done for 45. Shoaib Malik, what a difference he can make. He made a difference with the ball as well as the bat. 1 for 15 from 4 overs. Hassan Ali 1 for 29. Imad Wazim did his job and he has been doing it with customary regularity. 10 overs no made in 2 for 37. Pakistan were given a target of 221 runs from 50 overs. Mohammad Hafiz guided them very well with a very cool knock of 72 as also the captain of the Pakistan team. 72 of 104 balls with 8 fours. Shahjil Khan slapped 29. Babar Azam making 34. Asad Shafiq 13. But the coolness, the calmness and the experience Shoaib Malik, who as I said would have made the difference, and that was precisely the case, where Shoaib Malik was the one who piloted the Pakistanis to victory. Not out on 452 deliveries, 5 fours and 1 6. Akmal was not out on 18 and that was it. Australia lost this match and now the series is level 1-1. Now, as far as Bangladesh and New Zealand are concerned, right now when I'm talking to you, as I said, Shakib Al Hasan fell today, and yesterday New Zealand making 539, 539, so definitely conceding a lead of 56 runs to Bangladesh. New Zealand, well, Latham made 177 yesterday, and we also had Mitchell Santon getting on to his highest score as far as Test cricket is concerned. He contributed 73, and we had 53 coming in from Henry Nicholls. Grant Holm 14, Watling made 49. Some good catches taken by Imrul Case behind the wickets with some great reflexes. The bowling, we had 2 for Subhash Roy, got his maiden Test wicket. 1 wicket for Taskin Ahmed, 3 wickets to Kamrul Islam Ravi, Shakib Al Hasan 2 wickets and Mahmudullah 2 wickets. Bangladesh, right now as I'm talking to you, the 90 for 4. There's a bit of turn in the pitch too. Tamim Iqbal was out for 25. Case was retired head after making 24, 2 fours and 1 6. Momin ul Haq right now not out on 21. Mahmudullah was bounced out by Wagner for 5. Mathias and Miraz was run out to the last ball of the day for 1. Shakib Al Hasan was out for naught. And right now when I'm talking, Bangladesh on 90 for 4 with this live cricket update. Well, I know that I've really been rushing through this cricket broadcast, but it's only because of the matter of time here. Thanks for your company and thanks for watching Cricket Happenings. This is your host Ram signing off this on a Sunday. Thank you.